Hi, Natasha. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Catherine, and thank you all for inviting me. I'll take a moment to share my screen.
Yes.
All right. So to be honest, there are a few updates based on what you showed, and definitely something that we should do is update our StartupBlink profile. But anyways, here's something about Serbian startup ecosystem. So as you said, I'm program director for the startup ecosystem at Digital Serbia Initiative. And Digital Serbia Initiative is a non-profit, non-governmental organization that aims to develop a digital economy in Serbia. And that means that we work on education, on legal and regulatory frameworks, on public dialogue, digital infrastructure, and then of course on startup ecosystems. And there we try to work with everyone who wants to build something in the ecosystem, everyone who wants to join it or want to participate in any other way. So here is a glance of our startup ecosystem last year. So we have around 400 startups. The early stage startups have raised over $100 million last year, which is a very good sign, having in mind our general population and population of startups. Also, since Serbian engineers are known for their excellence, it came as no surprise last year that the Serbian-made projects have raised over 1.6 billion only last year, and I'll tell you more about that shortly. Then also what is very interesting and what we found out in research that we just conducted on our startup ecosystem, and the report will be available in a few weeks, is that 20% of our founders are returning from abroad. And we find that especially important since that increases the maturity of our startups in the ecosystem, because these people bring more knowledge, experiences, and contacts from abroad, usually coming back from the US, UK, Germany, and similar ecosystems where there are very developed links with the VCs, universities, research institutions, and everyone else. Also, somewhere where we outperform most of European ecosystems is number of female founders. So we have 20% of female founders in the ecosystem, and they are performing very well, or their startups are. And something that we will have this year is matching funding for the VCs that incorporate in Serbia for up to 5 million euros per VC. But also I'll tell you more about that later. So this is a general overview. The point is that the ecosystem is very young. It started developing a bit more than a decade ago, but it is very vibrant, making great results. We have seen some champions, some stars. We see huge activity from foreign VCs. Also, there is one local Serbian VC that was founded this year. So that helps motivate others to join the ecosystem and to start their own startups. And also DSI on its own has started its own DSI Angels network. So last year we started investing as angels for the rounds up to 300K for startups in Serbia. You mentioned strong subsectors before as energy, but I'd like to share a different insight. So first of all, gaming and blockchain are the most relevant sectors in Serbian startup ecosystem, both in quantity and quality. But also one other sector that is very important is agri-tech, since Serbia has a huge portion of our agricultural land for all kinds of foods. So when it comes to gaming, some of the top performers in the ecosystem are Nordios Trilateral, Playwrights, and I'm sure you must have heard about Top 11 or MetaHuman. Their products, they were all acquired by global leaders in the gaming sector like Take-Two, Epic, and Apex. We have dozens of gaming studios and a very strong community around it, and a support system that helps everyone who wants to join the gaming ecosystem itself. The blockchain, on the other hand, is something we take the most pride in for the last year. only early stage blockchain startups have raised over $100 million in funding. And also 2 projects that originate from Serbia, Polygon, whose co-founder is Serbian Ecosystem, and also Celsius Network, which was completely researched and developed in Serbia by Serbian MVP Workshop, which was later partially acquired by Celsius, and now their CEO is actually a CEO of Celsius Europe. So this speaks a lot in favor of the potential of the blockchain sector in Serbia. When it comes to government support for startups and ecosystem players, we've just got the first national strategy for the startup ecosystem development, which TSI helped draft. And we have huge plans for the next 5 years. And some of the main points that we will introduce to our ecosystem are, first of all, this fund of funds mechanism. So the point is that up to 3 VCs that get incorporated in Serbia this year will get matching from the government for up to 5 million, but it can only be 50% of all assets under management in the fund. But we want to create more VCs here, and we are welcoming new ones to incorporate. Also, something we're very much looking forward to is Catapult Accelerator, which just started. So this is the accelerator that will provide support to startups, but also 300K matching for all the startups that raise money. And 10 more seconds, there are plenty of tax incentives in Serbia for everyone that is in R&D or startups. Founders do not pay any taxes on salaries. There are huge corporate income tax credits for investments in startups. Everything that is based on your IP, either your profit or actually entering those IP rights into a Serbian company, is either taxed at 3% instead of 15%, which is common, and or absolutely free of taxes, and as you can see, many others. So all in all, Serbia has world-class engineers, affordable talent. It is very easy to obtain a foreigner's license to work in Serbia. It is developing rapidly, but it's not saturated. There is plenty of space for everyone who wants to use the opportunity in such a vibrant ecosystem. And if you haven't been in Serbia before, trust me, come here for the rich culture, positive energy, great food, and also North Macedonia is very near, so you can also visit all of us all at once. And if you have any questions about Digital Serbia initiative or what's happening in the ecosystem, here is my content. And these are useful links for what TSI does, what are the tax incentives that you can find in Serbian government support, and also the site Belgrade Gets Digital can show you what you can do as an expat or digital nomad in Serbia. That's it.
Thank you, Natasha, thank you for that great introduction.